Sorry about that. My pizza showed up very late. Like, literally, when I was supposed to start stream again is when my pizza finally arrived. So I had to Kirby that as fast as possible. And then, brush my teeth and all that fun stuff. So... let's see how this goes. We're gonna try some. It was quite good. Why they call it Kirbying, Robostal. You kidding?
How to find an exit.
It was like an hour trip, so pizza was quite cold when it got here. I had to nuke it for a second. It's fine, Zach Taft. I wouldn't worry about it.
Gouge him. At your pleasure. Rest in peace. Die. No escape. Die. Hard. Gouge him. Return to the underworld. No escape.
That's a statement that requires an explanation, Robostal. DMC3 is an unfinished game. DMC4 is a very unfinished game. DMC2 is an extremely unfinished game. What the hell's unfinished about 5? Thank you, Justin. Oh, and also, DMC1 is an unfinished game. Let's see, and you put that towards the greatest game of all time. Star Trek Online. The Terran Gambit. Hopefully, I just hope we can get some points back after the Jaula arc. Look out.
Can't move forward without breaking through these. Slice him.
Well, I mean, opinions are opinions, Robostal, and if you tell me that it's your opinion that the world is flat... I mean... I'm being a little facetious. We'll see. Maybe I'll have that opinion too by the time I finish it. But I imagine this game is going to absolutely stomp in terms of score. Like, this might be top 10 material.
He's throwing a tantrum up there! Watch the ceiling be!
Yeah, 4 is very unfinished. Like, overtly, obviously unfinished. Not, it's my opinion there could have been more to this unfinished. 4 is literally a game that got shoved out the door at the 50% marker. It's actually probably closer to 60%, but it's still true. And even 3 had the 2 hours of unnecessary padding in it. Which, you know.
At your pleasure.
Jeez! He almost turned us to base! I said we'd break the leg!
Pardon me.
I didn't even know you could do that, Valvedrix.
Turn it to the underworld.
Damn it, Alex! How could you do this to me?
Fall to hell.
Yeah, this is the best the Yoshi drums has ever been. I'm not sure if this is... We need to decide. We need to decide if this is triple positive Yoshi drums. Because if it's not, we need to decide what is.
Gouge him.
This ship is awfully big.
I mean, Yoshi drums in general tend to be good. Although, ironically, we didn't give a plus for that in Mario World. The originator. As is so common.
Crush it.
Yeah, don't say that, okay? I mean, honestly, the difference between the two is minuscule. If we're being completely honest. But the distinction in terms of a technical sense is that... One second. I'm trying to optimize some damage output here. Come on, almost. No. Ah, whatever. The distinction from a technical perspective is that dynamic music is when the songs change, or the tracks change, or whatever, based on what you're doing. Yoshi drums... Rax gets there quicker. Yoshi drums adds other layers to the song, other instrument tracks, essentially. Yoshi drums, like you're playing Mario World, you hop on Yoshi, there's a drum layer that wasn't there before. It's part of the song. It's technically playing all the time, it's just muted. That's Yoshi drums. And the distinction between the two is, well, dynamic music is cool, and we see dynamic music in something like TIE Fighter, or in... there's another one I can't think of the name of. It's an older game that does something like that. System Shock 2. Or no, sorry, System Shock 1 did dynamic music. But that's different because Yoshi drums is the song you're currently listening to becomes more, depending on what you're doing. However, functionally speaking, both kind of fill the same slot. Because in both cases, what's happening is the music is changing based on what you're doing. Gross. Actually, we haven't reviewed Super Mario Bros. 1 under the current system, Valvatrix, or Yoshi's Island. But if you want the full list... then I can look it up. A song that... if an existing song that changes a tempo would be a dynamic song, although I don't know of an example of that off the top of my head, but in a hypothetical. Hang on, give me a moment, Yoshi. Yoshi. Wow! Valvatrix, you are now Yoshi, just so you know.
I need more strength. Come on. No escape. Thus endeth your requiem.
Had to show that off at least once. I mean, he really is kind of Agnes again. It's just we're playing him instead of him being, you know, Fujo. Alright, hang on. Let me scroll way down. Way down. Here we go. So the games that are included in the Mario 2D block are... Hello? Did I move them up? Okay, hold up. I gotta find this list, because it's the only place this list exists. Hit the stream brakes. Laura's a dumbass. Okay, so there's the D&D thing. There's the list of games I'd like to play. There's the Kingdom Hearts block. Ah, here we go. There's the Zelda block. There's the Metroid block. There's the Sonic block, Doom block, Mono block, 3D block, and 2D block. Okay. Mario 2D will be, in order, 1, Yoshi's Island, New, New Wii, New 2, and New U. So, it is going to be predominantly new. New. You know, that's a good point. God damn it. No, you're right. I should add lost levels to that, too. I don't want to, because lost levels sucks. But that doesn't prevent it from being a valid game to stream. So we'll play 1, and then immediately follow 1 with lost levels. God, that's gonna suck. Lost levels. There. It is funny, though, because I legitimately forgot lost levels even exists, because... Duh, I suppose. Damn you, Valvedrix! It's okay, I'll have a lot of actually pretty good games to follow up on it. A lot of people bash the new series, but the new series is legit, so I don't mind. Like, I'm gonna have fun playing those games. If they don't like it, they can get punched! And then I'll punch! 0-2 punch! Perfect, Alex. Thank God.
What's in that hole? Should we take a look?
I don't know if I could take it. Oh, I don't have air hike as B. I guess that makes a degree of sense. How did I miss that? That was apparently my 4th. Okay, cool. Hello, paranoid android. Oh, that's an invisible wall. Okay, never mind then. Cool. Hey, yeah. I have thoughts about the plot of B. I'm gonna save them for later. Because obviously we're not there yet. I will say this, the story of 5... let me rephrase that. The core story of 5 is probably its weakest point. The presentation of 5's story is excellent. Because, you know, they've kind of figured that stuff out by this point.
At your pleasure. At your pleasure.
I mean, yeah, probably, Kay. Wait until we see the score for this one. I have no idea what it's going to be, obviously. Come on, game. I mean, 2, that's to say Mass Effect 2, currently sits at a very high list, or slot on the list. I don't even know how high, because whatever number you look at on the website is inaccurate, because I haven't had time to fix that yet. Looking at the queue, what is something I'm planning to stream? Everything in the queue is something I'm planning to stream. So do you notice how not Phantom? The leopard is dead. This is the mechanic we were mentioning earlier.
Slice him.
Fine.
Eradicate them all.
Since you're pushing me a little.
Slice him.
Yeah, the majority of this game, ironically, just like the last game, is focused on Nero. And doubly ironically, I think not only does it do a better job than 4 did of the same idea, but I think it was a good move. I still think he's going to get a negative that everybody disagreed with last time I streamed this. But I do think overall the arc is good.
Yeah. Slice it. Pierce through.
Considering this game and the design of V predates Kylo Ren by several years, no, Nitro. You're probably thinking, but this game came out in 2019. Yeah, and V was designed years before that.
Rest in peace.
Character designs are usually one of the earlier things they design when it comes to these things. So yeah, if anything, Force Awakens ripped off DMC5.
No escape. Pardon me.
Now, I sincerely doubt Star Wars did that on purpose, although that would amuse me more than I'd like to admit.
Pin him to the wall. The end is now.
Coming at you, baby!
Gouge him. Slice him. Demolish.
I mean, honestly, so would I, Rax. Even knowing that I'd probably going to tune the Force down in the rewrite, not up. In Reality Land, Star Wars, the Force is already ridiculous, so embrace it, right? I've played Jedi Fallen Order. I know what a Jedi can do.
Finally outside! And look at that, a fall.
So since I accidentally missed the earlier one. Three, 426 is the number.
Hey, I could use a hand.
Is that how it works in Britain? You just punch in 5 numbers? Agreed, Rax. Yep, like I said, they're just gonna keep getting more, well, more of that, really.
Yo.
Ironically, I think I have nothing to buy. Yep, I am fully maxed out on everything. But yeah, no, like, whoop, to be continued. It wouldn't be a lore runner stream if we weren't talking about Star Trek or Star Wars in a completely unrelated game.
Malthus. Of course. More trouble. Not sure about that one, though. Never seen it before. Not in the underworld, anyway.
Search for the Devil's Sword, Sparta. You know where it is. He told me to leave it be. But I'm afraid it still concerns me. As long as there is a blood descendant of Sparta, I cannot take any chances. Do you understand? Find it and destroy it!
I remember not liking that fight.
Will his reign be true?
The Malthus fight. Now this fight.
I see. I know what you are. Don't worry. I'll be gentle. Rise.
This might be a bit rough.
Crush them. Die. Pierce throne. Die.
Hell, I'm not into guys, and I understand the thirst for V. You kidding me?
So, you gonna come back to that?
One thought fills immensity.
It's not the time for poetry! Wait, what does that even mean?
Where there's a will, there's a way. Now let's go. Gouging. No escape. You make me. The power to control time. That's quite a horse.
But that didn't mean it's scary. I thought Dante killed it already.
A rare species, but apparently not quite extinct. Until today, that is.
It's a good time to mention that this game references 3 more than anything else. Like, a lot. It's a little silly, actually.
Die. Pin him to the wall. Slice it.
Careful, B! He's got horsepower!
Damn it, Griffin.
And send it right back. Bring what you sow. At your pleasure. Take them.
I was hoping you'd stick around at least a little longer, Alex. But I don't blame you if you gotta leave.
Powers of folly are measured by the clock, but of wisdom, no clock can measure. Die.
Hey!
I'm fine. I must chase him. If the Devil Sword Sparta still exists, it may very well be our only hope.
Think about this for a minute now. What will you do if you find it? You gotta be strong in mind and body to wield the Sparta, and you, sir, are not. Hate to break it to you, but the Sparta will just be too much for you.
For me, yes. But what if the boy, Nero?
I do hope your headache goes away, Alex.
Let's go. Once we are near the Sparta, even I should be able to sense its presence.
Also, I pointed this out last time, but already V is starting to show a little bit of the weight and fatigue that's going through him. And, spoilers, he's just going to keep getting worse as we go through. Talk about horsepower. Ah, excellent. Yes, I do, actually, Zektav, completely. So...
You want the creme de la creme? Look no further.
This is for you, Alex. God, those are expensive.
You need anything else? Well, she ain't dead. Got a pretty smoking body, though.
Nico.
Not that I was barely even noticed.
Nico.
You know, you should go do your thing. I got this.
Yeah. What the hell? Whoa. He's too big to leave alone. Better take care of it. Stay alert.
Yeah.
So you remember Gilgamesh, right? We actually wielded him back in the last game. Well, here's the demon in question.
Look at this ass prancing around.
Be gone!
Think I'm turning back now? Fat chance.
Oh god. Not playing V. Not playing V.
Gotta hammer that soft spot up there. Gerber!
mean, you say that, but we already have seen that they have a bit of a masquerade going on, Zach Taff, so who knows, really.
Where do you think you're going?
In 40 years, too, Alex. Oh my god. Okay. Camera, you're not helping me here. Work with me. Work with me here. There we go. Yeah, Bayonetta occurs in an extraordinarily different setting to Devil May Cry. Like, even the fundamental rules of the two settings are completely different.
What are you doing down there?
You didn't think you did that all by yourself, did ya?
You know, I bet you taste like chicken.
Oh, you ungrateful son...
I'll leave this beast to you. I must press on.
Be free, pillars. Be free!
Well, guess it's just you and me, cockroach.
And kill Gilgamesh. Greg must die. Bayonetta would be at least on the level of both Dante and Virgil, I would say. Past that's hard to gauge, because they're literally dealing with different things. And it's also worth noting that Dante's power comes from being part demon, but Bayonetta has a pact, which makes her so powerful. So, kind of a different sources, different rules sort of a situation. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. I don't know Blood Rain. Blood Rain is a vampire. That's what I know about Blood Rain. I think. Oh yeah, also multiverse because bad writing. Because all multiverses are bad writing. That's not true. I shouldn't say that. I mean, honestly, I'm sick to death of multiverse storylines and have been for about 20 years now. So, the fact that they're on the rise again does not improve my mood any, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, excuse me, a vampire. I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
I agreed to splitting up, but why do I gotta do all the heavy lifting?
Because you're the part demon. See, all you have to do, Baron, is make a contract with me. It'll be great. I mean, you watch. DC is going to do the exact same thing they've already done. They tried to copy the MCU and failed so hard, it basically killed their film franchise. So now they're going to go into television. Mark my words. You watch, Rex. You watch. That's an interesting question, Pillars of Snow. There's a couple of problems with that assessment, though. And all other than the fact that the shows that DC have been doing for a while now are different. Like, that's not what I'm talking about.
A root too. What's going on?
Yo, lady's away. Got any questions for her? Better make it fast.
All right.
Hey, wait. We could use that. Pick it up. Not that one. The other one.
This one?
Next to it.
Come on, Nico. This one?
Sure.
Okay, lol. This one? Second picture. This one? Can we get some clothes on Lady? I know we want her to be naked the entire rest of the game.
What happened to him? And Trish?
But
They end up like you?
Trish, she was captured. I remember that. But I don't know what happened to Dante.
Damn it.
You can't travel through here in a car.
Yeah, we know. We're just waiting on you. There's only one way up that tree. Hang on, I'll get ready.
I'm glad to see you look so well.
You too, I guess.
I found these. If they're of any use to you, they're yours.
Wow. I can make something truly awesome out of these.
Shocker. Can we trust him?
Your guess is as good as mine. He might be useful, though. Enough talking. Get some rest. You need it.
two things, okay. A line in this game and an interview about the line in this game.
wake up! It's time to get to work.
I was just told to get some rest.
Oh, you were just told to get some rest? Well, we need to make a path. So start digging.
Lady.
Come on!
Not the other lady. The other lady.
Got something to wear that's good for digging?
So we can choose who to play as. The greatest character in the history of the ever, or whoever this kid is. It's a tough one. Thank you, Dragon's Hunter. I do not have any mods on at the time, no. I will jot that down for Undertale. Oh. Yeah, that's how you use the lens flare right there. You know my personal favorite type of fan service, okay? Negative fan service! No, this game does not have mod support, but it is the RE engine. And the RE engine is actually quite moddable, ironically. It's something that anybody who's ever modded RE2R can tell you about. I didn't see a question about anything. I mentioned I see the tank thing from UseActF, but I don't see... Oh, there it is. Right. No, that's... I don't know if Strange would, Zactap. Of course, I don't know if Stark would either, but I do agree both could, absolutely. Oh yeah, we gotta get in the Trek references. Very mandatory. Here, I'll flip a coin. Actually, no. I know how to play V. I need to get in practice as Nero. I'm not that good with Nero, and there's a couple of mandatory fights as him, which are mean. Secretly, I was always Dante Bokimi. Just seeing what we haven't gotten yet. Yeah, well, this time I know there's stuff coming up, Twilight Prawn. I suppose I'm going to grab that. And ignore all of those. Grab that for completion's sake. And grab that for completion's sake. See, I'm required by law to use these now. So let's line up a couple of those. We've already shown off Overture. I don't think we've actually shown off Helter Skelter yet. We did show off Gerbera. And I think we've just unlocked Punchline story-wise. Trying to keep track of where we're at with these, because New Game Plus. Oh, I'm swimming in arms, Kay. You can take that out of context. Yeah! Perfect jumping animation! Oh, wrong button. What? Lord knows Capcom was actually doing pretty well a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. But I swear I'm not just saying that because Mega Man 11 and DMC 5 came out so close to each other. Mega Man 11 being the best rated Mega Man game I've ever reviewed, and DMC 5 probably being the best rated DMC game I've ever reviewed. I'm sure we're not there yet, but let's be honest. Yeah, that's probably going to be a thing. I try not to be Bram Stoker as often as possible, Gundam. It's kind of a morning life goal, you know? Wake up in the morning, don't be Bram Stoker. Mega Man 11 is the best Mega Man in existence, and since Mega Man is the best in existence, well, here we are. Well, V is over being cool, and I can't even show it off properly. There. I can enjoy Katamari Damacy if it's muted. Or if I'm playing it with my niece. Both of those make it more acceptable to me. Otherwise, it's a little bit too drugs for me. I'm usually not into drugs games.
You can follow if you want, but I'm going ahead.
Look, nothing personal. I know a lot of people are into drugs games. I'm just not one of them, that's all. I ain't here to judge. Well, actually, I am absolutely here to judge, but I'm here to judge the game, not you. Let me make that clear. Game, not you. There we go. Or game, not you? That's just less clear. Yeah, I judge Drugs Girl, too. Oh, I'm not playing as V. God damn it, that's 3 times now I've tried to do something, and I'm not playing as V. Also, did I mention a bit of a gore warning? I'm not sure if it bothers me yet, I don't know. If you remember, we've had a bit of an inconsistent thing with that. Like, you remember Doom 4? Doom 4 didn't bother me, and still doesn't. Doom 5 did. So, I don't know. We will, of course, see. Yeah, no, exactly, Black Cloud. Doom 4 was cartoony. It was just... Doom 5 was... Yeah, Doom 5 bothered me. I gave a negative to Doom 5 for the gore. For the excess usage and improper utilization of Glock. Damn it, Alex, no! I just got the Buster as like a thing that I thought would make you smile or something, you know? Cute little joke. You don't actually have to donate, man. It's cool. Real talk, though, I actually like this Buster. It's like the gun, if the gun was worth a damn. Like, seriously, you notice the knockback that's inherent in it? I will say, playing this immediately after playing 4 is kind of a thing. I vary, Bokimi. It's actually pretty rare that a game has gross that affects me. Let me walk that back. It's pretty rare that a game that I actually play has gross that affects me. There's plenty of games that have gross that affect me, but those are usually horror games or... well, horror games. And they're gross. Hang on. I got a donation from somebody. Tell me about it. At least I'm getting used to the new controls a little bit. I've screwed up a couple of times. I've caught myself where I would hit A when I meant B and vice versa. No, of course not, Papanix. Now, of games I've played, so let me go ahead and tell you a game that has bothered me with the gore that's in it. To the point where we will have to give it a negative when we get to it. You ready for this? Soten. I know. I know. It's okay. Yeah, I noticed that, Rex. Thank you, Alex. Always appreciate. Thank you. I have put those between Pokemon Arceus, Shadows of Loathing, and Thomas Was Alone. You want to know a game that bothers me? Scorn. There you go. There's one for you. Friend Bo also got to me. Honestly, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm looking something else up in general anyways. Let's look at every game in the current review list. Let's see if any of these bothered me gross-wise. Mega Man X7. I'm joking. Paradise Eve probably would with proper graphics. I know this because Third Birthday does. God of War 3. God of War 3 had several sections which were just completely unnecessarily gross. Not even gory, just gross. Yeah, Chronos. You remember. I pointed it out when we were streaming it, too. And, of course, then immediately after that's Frambeau. So we got God of War 3, we got Frambeau. Ironically, Mortal Kombat 11 didn't bother me at all. I have played Dead Space 2, which didn't bother me because it was hysterical. I'm not joking about that. That game was hilariously gory. Like, it was so over the top and ridiculous, I could not help but laugh. I haven't played 1 or 3, though. I guess that's it. That's the list, at least, of games on the current list. Dead Space 1, which is apparently an actually horror game, might get to me, yeah. 3 won't, because 3 is 3. So anyways, this is one of the Devil Breakers, too. Just giving yourself a flaming sword. Well, there's something in 3 that I'm not actually going to say out loud because it's the spoiler of the entire franchise, which is actually the most horrifying thing about the entire franchise for me. Okay. Yeah, 3. That is some existential horror right there. My God. Gross, 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 gross. Still gross. Gross number 2, the grossening. Man, what's the point of that, Gum Gum? Jesus. Like, not everything has to be sunshine and roses, but jeesh.
On me.
No, I know, Rex. Enough said, really. Interesting. I feel like that's a reference or something, but whatever.
This was the right way. Nailed it. Gotta push on ahead.
Ah, we lost it. Back to the Mega Buster.
Okay, guess I'm going down.
I mean, you don't... Thank you, Alex. I mean, I already said thank you and already bowed, but... You didn't have to. Which I suppose is obvious, but it's still true, damn it. On the plus side, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like Shadows Over Loathing a lot more than Paradise Kill. I mean, no, yeah, I said that right. Shadows Over Loathing. I'm right. Yeah, sorry. Alex was always John Wick. He just gave me a couple of golden coins, which, you know, of all the things I love about those films, the thing I hate is there is no establishment for how much a coin is worth at all. Like, I know nobody is supposed to pay attention to this, but they buy a lot of very different valued items and services with a coin. And I hate to break this to you, but that's not how economies work. Even, you know, secret economies. run by secret assassins. Because apparently everyone in the freaking world is a secret assassin. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, lore, you're terrible. No, hear me out, hear me out. Imagine a setting where everyone really is an assassin. Like, everyone's an assassin. It's like the ninja thing, except for assassins. And John Wick is still just better than all of them, because he's John Wick. Ironically, when we replay the first one, Alex, I plan to have a walkthrough to make sure I don't miss anything this time. Up.
Get out of my sight!
I don't think I've seen that one. I mean, I guess that's fair. What kind of madman would actually design a fake economy just for his fictional setting? You know, ironically, Bokimi, I think I actually agree with you. Hang on. Someone write that down in the history books. I think it's the first time that's ever happened. That guy owed me money. Oh, sorry, it's 33729.
Bored? I've got a job for you.
Alright, let's hear it. What you got?
What? I think coming up through the floor was less weird than that one. Whatever.
Yo, you just here to window shop?
I'm not even going to comment on the fact that we pay her in blood. Just ignore that for a second. Okay, so we've been showing off the Bega Buster, and it is actually pretty awesome. But we need to show off other stuff, so let's show off Punchline. And we need a Helter Skelter. And we've already shown off Tomboy, which is awesome. Yeah, but what's she getting out of it, Belvedere? I don't think we've shown off Rawhide yet. And I've obviously shown off Ragtime. I think that's actually all of them. I think that's all the ones we haven't... Okay, so... Now, you'll have to forgive my old man self. I gotta stretch my clench and claw a little bit here. There we go. It does, Rex, yeah. It's really obvious in some shots. In fact, earlier while I was idling, jotting something down, there was a shot of it. I'm glad you had fun, Yura. I was thinking the same thing. She probably literally turns in the blood into materials. No, Zach Teft, you misheard me. Ugh. I said that they wouldn't do it, not that they couldn't do it. Big difference. Although, while we're here, let's make the Mega Man one. We'll equip this one, but, you know... Yeah, but they wouldn't do it for Nero pillars. They would look at Nero and be like, I'm busy. Also, we all know Midnight Suns is secretly just a dating sim, which has an XCOM game tacked on top of it. Not that I'm necessarily against that. We all know I'll be dating Wolverine. So yeah, you notice that the closer we get to the central tree, the more the terrain is getting very screwed up. I hope you like Ruins and Gray, because we've basically left the part of the game that has interesting, fun, and clever visuals. And we've entered the Devil May Cry stages. And I say that as bluntly as I can because every DMC game goes through this exact same process. It has an area or 2 or 3, which is actually interesting. And then there's the rest of the game. It was really bad in 4. Which is a damn shame. Because 4, started off with some really cool stuff. 3 was pretty bad about it, too. And so, I guess they're all pretty bad about it. I guess that's a meaningless comment. I mean, that sounds cheap to me, Gum Gum. Proto-Angelo. Scudo-Angelo. Welcome to hell.
Nice. Getting the band back together, huh?
What evil lurks? I must destroy.
I thought that was the plan all along.
So this is our first actual co-op fight, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Oh yeah, notice V is pissed about this. Of course the whole building is sliding down the hole. Why wouldn't it be? And yes, that's just the stage now. What? I don't see any problems here, do you? Ooh, wow, that timing. That's on me. My thumb was literally in the wrong spot. So that's Helter Skelter.
Out of the way!
What? What? Did that happen last time? So yeah, I actually am rather fond of Helter Skelter, if it's not obvious. I've been trying to save most of the good busters for last.
Get out of my sight! Right there!
Riding high.
Yeah, you can tell this is only my second time playing, because I haven't seen any of these little New Game Plus things yet. Oh, we lost the Skelter. That's okay. We got a Rawhide still. I mean, honestly, I can think of a lot of games that would be improved with proper co-op. Like, a lot. Damn it! Freaking shields. Fine. Come here. Definitely compensating for something. Also true, Bokimi. There are bad games that are fun co-op.
Took us long enough to get here.
Like Far Cry.
What? Tired already?
I've just remembered something. This town was attacked. Once before.
Is that so?
I was here. I can still see it. In fact, I was playing right here. That was the house. This is where we part ways. You go ahead.
You're gonna miss all the fun.
No. I must seek out the Devil's Sword Sparta.
What? Yeah, I don't think that's such a good idea. Trust me.
You're not the only one who thinks so. But to win this fight, we're going to need all the help we can get.
Not the only one. What the hell aren't you telling me?
Then I love you. No, and yeah, Far Cry 5 is a perfect example. But so many shiny toys. I like the second picture. Motivated human. Sure. So I want to talk about something, but the only way to do so is to massively spoil this game. Ready for this? It's gonna blow your mind.
Guess there's no point thinking about it.
That van is awesome.
Perfect timing. Now we're starting to act like a team.
Ew. You like flirting with me? Knock it off. Get in the car. Oh my god.
Okay, so, for real. Big spoiler moment. You ready for this? You ready for this? On the off chance you do care about spoilers, this is technically a spoiler. It's just one of the most obvious spoilers in gaming history. Other than the one in Arkham Knight, obviously. Oh my god, lady has clothing! That's not the spoiler. V is Virgil. To be slightly more accurate, V is Virgil's human half. We'll talk about some of the specifics, but here's the thing. I've actually thought about this game quite a bit since I played it, and of course over the past couple of days as we've been playing the series. And I no longer agree with the sentence I just said. I don't think V is Virgil... I don't think V is Virgil's human half. I think V is Virgil. Having done a little bit of behind-the-scenes looking and a little research doing and all that fun kind of stuff, I've discovered a few little tidbits that are little nuances that may or may not be intended, you know? It may just be me reading too much into it. I'm not sure. But by all accounts, it looks like he ripped out... I'm trying to remember the exact quote. He ripped out his human self, his capacity for love, caring, and thought, I believe was the exact phrase. The reason that's relevant is because that makes Urizen feral. Oh, sure, he's capable of thought in the strictest sense of the word, in the same way that, say, maybe Goliath is. Or, you know, one of the other, let's call them what they are, lesser demons. Now, obviously, we can argue this back and forth. Again, I'm just giving a little bit of perspective. But yeah, exactly. The idea here is that my take on this, especially replaying this, is that V really is the real Virgil. For lack of a better way to put that. The true consciousness, personality, whatever else you want to, whatever term you want to put to that. He is a total dork who tries really hard to be too cool for school, who nevertheless does have a great deal of confidence and enthuses about his own little things, like his poetry and his stories, and of course, does actually give a damn. And again, none of this is a negative. Actually, quite the contrary. This is probably not true, because every time I think of a theory for this series, it's proven wrong, and it makes the story worse. But no, I do think that V is our best insight into the type of person Virgil really is. Now, I'm going to use Warcraft as an example here, because we've already talked Star Trek, we've already talked Star Wars, so we have to bring Warcraft into this. It's a rule. There's a character in Warcraft. His name is Malfurion Stormrage. Some of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. The others, don't worry about it. What you need to know about Malfurion is he's generally a cool guy. He's generally long-term thinking, and he generally helps out, and he generally is what you'd call one of the people who is in the has-brains territory. However, there's one gigantic problem with that, one flaw, one chink in his armor, and that is his brother. Malfurion has a globally huge blind spot when it comes to his brother, and that has caused issues over literal years, if not millennia, of storytelling within the confines of the franchise. It's so obvious, too. Now, we know this was deliberate back in Warcraft 3, at the very least, but I'm getting off topic. The point is, Malfurion is a perfectly cool guy until his brother gets involved, and you see why I'm bringing it up with regards to this game. Virgil's blind spot, excuse me, no, I'm saying that right. Virgil's blind spot being Dante makes way too much sense, especially given some of the additional layers his character gets in this game. If you were paying attention earlier, I actually mentioned that little tidbit in that story that I was reading out loud about how he got a book, wrote his name on it because this now makes it mine because I have a rivalry with my brother. And you can just feel that kind of issue there. Something that they've never really gotten over. We already saw this in 3. Hell, we saw this in 1 as well, although in a very, very unusual way. Now, the key part here is that this also goes the other way around. Dante also has a huge blind spot when it comes to Virgil, probably at least in part because of the events of 3. Now, that'll be more relevant later, but I bring all of this up because if you look at this game through the lens of V is the real Virgil, a lot of incidents, a lot of how he acts, and a lot of what he does makes a lot more sense. For example, why he would personally reach out to Lady and say that he's glad that she's okay. After all, it was him who was the one who enslaved and imprisoned her in the Nello Angelo armor thing that I already talked about. Something that was done to Virgil himself. I forget what it's called. I think there is actually a term for it, but you know what I mean, right? It's the encasement protocol I talked about earlier. And yeah, Virgil understands exactly what it's like to be turned into a living core and enslaved like that. So, either way, my magazine is weird. Let's fix that. I broke a couple things in that fight. You broke. Sorry. I didn't mean to break them. God. Okay, so he does. He talks about himself as if he is fully Virgil. Like that's a full tilt. Why do I have so many ragtimes? I don't even like the ragtime. Oh, I should hit this button now. So let's get a new tomboy in there. Tomboys are awesome. And let's just... We have way too many of these. Let's just start filling them in, shall we? Hey, Evo, you just missed yet another amazing plot twist in the Lore Runner Spoils Everything show. I'm your host, the Spoil Runner. And it's okay. There's no romance. Well, actually there is, but it's off camera. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed all the incredible visual stunningness of basically the entire game up to this point.
Not that that was ever an option. Yeah. Time for some payback.
Yeah, so now we enter the visually disinteresting part of the game.
I'll drag you all the way down here.
But hang on, I gotta jot down a couple of thoughts. Possibly Zach Teft. But yeah, welcome to Grayville. I actually remember this because I remember being rather unimpressed with it at the time. I didn't have terminology for it because we hadn't invented the terms such as brickwork yet. But I was not super impressed with this part of the game, visually. Probably because it looks like every other Devil May Cry game. I gotta say, so, sorry, in the middle of me mentioning that this is interesting coming straight out of DMC4, someone, I forget who, please forgive me, said in chat, how does this he feel compare to 4? Better in every way. Now, I want to clarify on that. So, the level of control I have, the little things the game is doing to make sure that I'm hitting what I want to hit, when I want to hit, how I want to hit it. You know, all those little things like combat coyote time, hurt boxes, hit boxes, timing, frame canceling, animation canceling, all those wonderful things that go into designing an action game are honestly much more smooth and fluid here. However, I do have to also mention, and we talked about this back in DMC4, that DMC4 had something going for it unintentionally. Jank. I know that sounds weird, but we talked about it. DMC4 had a lot of legitimate jank to it, and as a consequence, there was a lot of really weird, funny things you could do with it in order to keep it going. This does not have that jank. This has fluidity, or whatever you want to call that. This plays more like Metroid Dread than Super Metroid. if I was to use a direct comparison. Speaking as a speedrunner of Super Metroid, Metroid Dread controls better.
Oh yeah! Looking good, baby! Make love to the camera! Woo! Work it! Yeah!
No, I agree, Bokimi. I am very likely going to give a negative for what I call visual distinction at this point. Because you're right. From this point onwards, the game just kind of gets a little bit, huh? And then we've got the blood rivers, which I'm not even going to talk about. But see, the thing about Super Metroid,
That's my ride.
it's very hard for me to say Super Metroid has bad controls, especially since I know them inside and out. It would be more accurate to say that Super Metroid wasn't sure yet how to do the controls they wanted to. Having played all the Metroid games at, you know, the speedrunning level, even amateur speedrunning level, sorry. Don't want to talk myself up too much. Having played it at the frame level, I don't know what else to call that, it's very clear that Super Metroid was them just getting used to what we would now call, you know, smooth and fluid controls. So Super can work, absolutely, but it's definitely you need to know the timing, it's not really intuitive. As opposed to more modern Metroids where they actually were like, oh, okay, hang on. I mean, have you ever played Super and Fusion side by side? Because we're going to do that for the Metroid block, specifically for that contrast. Those two games look very similar and control completely differently. Might as well be completely different control schemes. Which I suppose makes sense, since one of them was using 2 buttons and one of them was using 4, but that's neither here nor there.
Where does this go?
Oh, yeah. So, this is a thing.
Man, got blood all over me. Better be a shower.
Depends on how well it's done, as always, Gum Gum. You know me, I don't generally have an opinion on approaches or styles, I have an opinion on execution. Yeah, itchy tasty! You know, when I was younger, Itchy Tasty was like a quiet little fun thing I would share with a couple of my friends. Nowadays, I could say that, and I bet half of chat knows what I mean by that phrase.
Riding high.
That's not even a complaint, by the way. It's just funny to me.
Out of the way.
I don't even remember which one that's from.
Right now. Let's get airborne. Get out of my sight. Come on, baby. Out of the way.
By the way, speedrunners just go through this section and, like, use the terrain to completely skip this entire fight. I just thought I'd mention I've actually watched a speedrun of this game. It's rather entertaining, to say the least. Yeah, it's a GDQ run. Unfortunately, I don't remember the time. If someone could look it up, what our current speedrun record is for this game. Very good, Lacan.
Alright. Going down is the only way, huh?
Cool. I think my total orbs has gone up, not down. I don't know, I'd have to check the VOD. 1 hour, 12 minutes. Jesus! New enemy type. I forget, have you played this one, Evo? I know you've played the franchise.
Right there! Be gone!
Yep, we're continuing the gray trend. Well, I don't know if this game will be really good on your hands, but, you know, might be worth a try. Ah, bad timing.
Right there! Right there! Get out of sight! Come on, baby! Out of the way!
Right now.
Oh, there's no way I'll beat the game today. Especially since we're going to show up Bloody Palace mode. Co-op. It's gray, Alex.
This again. Where's it gonna take me now?
I mean, actually what it is, what you're looking at is a lack of distinction. Dark brown on light brown. It's actually kind of a desaturated brown. And that's what you're looking at. Now, the blurring, that's a slightly different thing, but... Shrug. Also gross. Still gross. And yeah, the thing is, red and brown, ironically, blurs a lot in some human eyes. Obviously, everyone looks differently, but for me, in particular, for example, I'm looking at this and having trouble seeing what the hell I'm looking at. So it's either gray on gray or brown on red. And neither of those are cool. Simba. Let's see, and I also want... Let's get Helter Skelter. I'm just gonna start sticking with the ones I actually like, because I've kind of shown off everything at this point. Yeah, thank goodness, right, for Alpha Tricks. And thank goodness we occasionally find them just roaming in the area.
Right there! Go home already!
God dang it. My money! Oh, we fell. I mean, I don't care what you say, that van is not a normal van. Although I thought it was confirmed that it was actually a empowered artifact. Possibly not demonically empowered, but empowered by one side or the other. Yeah, no kidding, Alex. That's an interesting point. I wonder if that counts as another reference to God in this franchise.
Exterminate.
I mean, if we could just have a show that's called Nico Creates, and it's just her picking up, like, a can of beans and making something out of it, I'd probably watch that, too. The catch would be you'd have to be really creative about what exactly she makes out of it, you know? Like, what does she make out of a can of beans?
Out of the way!
Yeah, you're right. Like, make the live-action cutscene thing a real thing. Except, you know, cooking. Cooking with Nico. Hi. Today we're gonna take... I can't do Southern. Today we're gonna take this can of beans here. I'm gonna turn it into my personal favorite. No, it's not what you're thinking. Get your head out of the gutter. Instead, we're gonna do something nice and simple. And she makes, like, this really, really good bowl of beans, and she's just eating it, like... And she holds up the spoon, right? Check it out, and then a demon comes up, and she just throws the spoon at the demon. And it, like... You know the whistle-controlled dart in, Guardians of the Galaxy? It's like that. And so the spoon just kind of starts going... Psh, 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 and darting in and out of the demon, and the demon's just, like, trying to figure out where the heck the spoon is. And then she whistles, and it comes back. Tries to take a bite. Oh, I got some demon blood on it. Hang on, hang on. There we go. Secret ingredients, whiskey. And then she throws it again, and it goes right through the demon and kills it. Agreed, PB Good Fate. And by PB Good Fate, I mean Lacan. Sorry, my chat screwed up for like a millisecond there. How about you give your hands a rest, Evo? That's the character I want you to draw next. The resting hands of Evo.
Out of my way, Wince.
Because it'll be slower, you twit, is my answer to you, PB Good Fate. I will admit, I haven't actually seen that film in quite a while. In fact, I don't even like that film. But, I like him in it. Something I am unapologetic about.
Let's get airborne.
No, the music's normal, Damashi. Pretty sure we're not overriding any music at this point. If we are, it's very unintentional. Still gross. Nothing outlasts the Energizer Grosser. It just keeps grossing and grossing. Ooh, that, okay. Now we're playing Dark Souls. You know what I blame for the guts level thing in video games? Contra. Remember that? The original Contra, obviously. Completely normal game. About killing dudes in the forest. Oh, yeah, and then aliens. There's a whole lore behind the Contra series, which I bet you've never even heard of. I don't mean that as an offense thing, I'm just saying. Contra lore is actually there. It's just weird and creepy and has to do with alien invasions and dimensional encounters and... Yeah, Konami... Well, Konami'd all over that one. Yeah, Call of Duty has lore? Shoutouts to Guido. Yeah, then there's the Red Falcon, which... Oh, anyways, let's move on.
Good. Finally made it. Now, about that payback.
So, we're back at the first mission of the game.
A phone here? Does it still work?
Well, let's find out. Ironically, I'm not even a big fan of...
So, think you can make it all the way here?
Duh. Who do you think you're talking to?
Of Contra. But I've played several of them. I'd like to say I've played all of them, but I actually haven't. How did you get here? Whatever.
Hey,
Nah, it's probably just made by our grandpappy. Or grandmammy? Whatever. Alright, just checking a couple things really quick. Cool. That's actually all I wanted to know. Although, I think I'm going to finish setting up the Mega Man block here. Yes, that's right. We're doing an audit run of all the Mega Man games again. The reason why is because I freaking want to. Any questions? Cool. All right. I'm joking. We're not actually doing that. I have a billion other games to play. Thought about it. I'm not going to lie to you. I have thought about it. Yeah, if I was to go back through just the ones I want to, I'd probably cherry pick a little bit. Mega Man 2 through 8, and then 10 and 11. And then X1, 2, 4, 5, and honestly, that's probably it. It's probably the first Devil May Cry game that's getting more than one positive for music, Evo. And if you wonder why,
Think it's good to
we actually haven't shown off Mega Man and Bass, no.
Not for much longer. Right there! Hey, douchebag. Miss me? Where's Dante? No body? No dried up Dante jerky? Nothing?
You've come here to die.
He talks. Your reason, huh? I bet your parents didn't like you much, 'cause your name sucks.
I am without a name. I am power. Absolute.
Well, no name. I'll be sure to put that on your tombstone.
You will suffer and die.
I'll show you, deadweight.
No, Chongo. Oh, no. I'm well aware of the possibility.
So readily throw away your life, child.
I'm not interested in you having a winning streak.
You shall regret your existence.
Right there! Comes enough, right? It's working. This shield of yours, it's done for.
The mechanic actually haven't shown off yet. Because this is the first time we've died the whole game. You can use a gold orb, or we can use red orbs to revive. Interesting thing, the difficulty options in this game do the usual good stuff they've done since 3, right? They increase AI and moveset and blah, 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 blah. But in this game, they also increase the cost of that, of resurrecting via red orbs.
Just my luck.
This is technically... Oh, whatever. Yeah, I did not mean to do that. Oh, okay, whatever. There we go.
There's no such thing as too prepared.
Yeah, lost a thing in the middle of that fight. Should be it. Okay. Let's try that again.
Think it's good to be king, huh? Not for much longer.
That was strange. Don't do it, Damashi. Don't do it. What's a pump and dump? What do I want to know?
You would so readily throw away your life, child.
I'm not interested in you having a winning streak. Now I can break it.
Oh, I honestly never heard that term of it, Alex. But yeah, I'm obviously rather familiar with that very, very basic form of investment fraud. I mean, not to sound dismissive, but like we're at the point now where we've got very complex investment fraud. Basic stuff has been covered for years. That's the stuff it's really easy to get caught at. So, sucks to be them. Tee hee hee. This guy hurts. A little too early. Oh yeah, that hurt. And that was the wrong button. I have not, Yura. At least get up from the frickin'... It's okay. We're at about 2/3 of health. I admittedly really hate this fight. Probably the worst fight in the game. I don't know if it's negative worthy, but it is definitely not a fight I enjoy. Like, our options are to ranged, what we're currently doing. Oh, I'm aware of them, Yura. And they should all probably go to hell and die. But, so our options are to range or to get way up here in melee, where it's really hard, because of the design of the terrain, to see some of the telegraphs of the attacks that are about to hit us. And these attacks are nice, big, wide, AoE-style attacks, which are hard to dodge anyways. So that just makes it much worse. That was bullcrap. I disagree with what just happened there. Oh yeah, and if it's not obvious, unlike last time, we do have to actually beat Urizen here in order to progress.
Best thing about humans is that we never give up. Just look. It's about time I landed something.
All that for a drop of blood.
Weak mortal. Demon power does not course through your veins. Yet you try. How dare you strike me?
And of course, Virgil would be really, really pissed about anything challenging his power. Which once again goes back to that bestial, basic, not fully sentient aspect of the brain thing.
You will regret being born useless and human. I will show you your worst nightmares.
And yeah, it's actually pretty obvious if you're paying attention that that's Virgil's actor.
Despair and death. Scatter like dust.
Okay, hi, Pygmy Frank. Whoop! I mean, again, what I have to say is predominantly a theory and not fact, but I do firmly think that this is not Virgil in any way that really matters. His hair's kind of bloody too, Eva. I mean, oh, remind me to talk about the personality thing in a minute.
Human, petulant mortal flesh. Cursed the moment you were brought into this world.
Sounds a lot like he's talking about himself, doesn't it?
Who dares interfere? What creature stands against a king?
Is that a demon?
There's a real-life concept called monomania. It's when you get fixated to something to the point of being unhealthy. I don't mean being into Star Trek. Monomania is much, much worse than what I'm talking, than whatever meme answer you're thinking about in your head right now. It's pretty messed up. My take on this is that Urizen here is monomaniacal. That he is so focused on power and absolutely nothing else. Yeah, Genesis and Love, this is actually not a bad example of this. That it informs the entirety of his personality, if you could even call it that. Hence, the idea that anyone would challenge his power successfully, even minutely, is what pisses him off enough to detach himself from the tree, which he's been feeding off of for like a month at this point, and actually get up to really try and take it seriously, because something has just tried to get in the way of the only thing it cares about. Now, if you're paying attention, this is a development, that's the wrong word. This is an escalation of what Virgil himself was going through. Oh God, this horrible thing happened to me. I need power so that it'll never happen again. Virgil was never thinking past step 2. It was always just back there in step 1, right? He needed power. Once I have power, it's going to be fine. There was no stage 3. There was nothing else. Get power, win. Now, take away the sentience, the sapience, the intelligence, the capacity for a being on top of that, and all you're left with is power, the end. It's worth noting that if you... Oh, I wrote it down. Hang on one second. It does. It makes sense, Bokimi. Like, Virgil doesn't move much as a character. Until now, obviously. Give me a second. So, if you win against the fight we just did as Virgil, the quote you get is, "Usurper slain, an empty throne, the crown lies covered in blood. Power is its own reward. And we have just begun. Grab your blade. The time has come. We only have each other." And honestly, that says all it really needs to. Meanwhile, a couple weeks ago,
you could have at least knocked, Morrison.
Yeah, I could have. I got some good news and some bad news. Pick your poison. Which you want to hear first?
Just speak.
Bad news it is.
Always start with bad news.
Lady Patty's feathers are all ruffled. See, she wants to invite you to her birthday party, but your phone is disconnected.
You're a smart one, Morrison. You noticed the electric and water out too?
I expected nothing less.
So what's the good news?
Oh, I got a gig. Cash up front.
Cash up front. This I like. The water needs turning on and those toilets need flushing.
Water, gas, and power. Coming out of your cut. You're a real agency now.
Devil may cry.
Dante, do you have any idea how many times I've tried to call? Like a zillion. Oh my god, tonight's my birthday party. Yeah, I'm turning 18. Not a little kid.
Okay, Morrison, I'll take you up on that gig, but only if you can get me out of that hellish birthday party.
Consider your RSVP declined. Meet your new client. Listen, I'm gonna find Lady and Trish. Bring him in on this.
What? Come on, you don't think I can handle this gig on my own?
It's a big job. Big job, Dante. You're gonna need the help.
So, what's your name?
I have no name. I am but 2 days old. Just kidding. You can call me V.
Okay, V. Why don't you tell me everything about this job?
A powerful demon is about to resurrect, and we need your help, Dante.
Now that's a familiar tune. Do you have any idea how many times I've heard that exact same line?
This is special.
Special? Okay. So what's so special about this one?
This demon is your reason. Your reason for fighting.
This demon got a name?
By the way, one more little tidbit to kind of add to what I keep talking about with regards to Urizen and how it is not really a full person. Urizen has no name, really. We call it Urizen because that's what V called it. But Urizen flat out says, I have no name. It literally lacks a central identity. Other than, of course, power. Also, I'm pretty sure Dante is more than capable enough to tell that something's off. What I'm not sure is how much he cares. And yeah, you'll notice I keep screwing it up, but I'm trying to call Urizen it because I think that's appropriate, given what Urizen is. I was gonna just look that up, Alex, because I know Urizen is actually being named after something, obviously out of universe, but also in universe. I mean, Virgil always liked Blake. Honestly, probably just tried to get a frickin' life, Draxia.
Shoot.
Did you find it?
Well, I don't know what I found, but I think I saw some demons dancing.
Well, then I guess we keep going. The Devil's Sword Sparta is nearby. It's coming from the Clifodd's root.
I swear someone in this game says Cliffoth. Because there's a reason I pronounce it that way.
Pierce throne.
No difference, Django.
Demolish. Come on. Turn him to the underworld.
Well, Cliffoth sounds stupid, so I'm gonna go back to calling it Cliffoth. Done! Alright. I mean, V is extraordinarily well designed. He may be simple, but the complexity in his design is bonkers good. Well, we talked about that earlier. So anyways, new enemy type. As you can see, it's Jaheira. Yeah, as I am very fond of saying, simple does not mean bad.
Slicing, gouging. Pierce throne.
No, Hira. By definition, being simple and complex at the same time. It's like being hot and cold at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna go for it.
Like yourself. Pierce throne.
And yes, I know all of you are going to say, oh, but you can totally have something be hot and cold at the same time. No, you can't. You can have a single thing that also encompasses both hot and cold because the Earth exists. Or reheated burritos in the microwave. But that individual beam, or bean, excuse me, is neither, it's not hot and cold. It is hot, or it is cold. They are diametrically opposed things. You cannot have it both ways. Pet trash can! Bad thermodynamics, Rax. But no. See, how do I explain this? Let me use something I know reasonably well. You, do you know what, oh god, what's it called? Alternative voting, I think is what it's called? Or preferential ranked choice something something voting? Of course, I can't, I said I'd talk about something I know, I can't even think of the name of the damn thing. Ranked choice. You know what ranked choice voting is? I guess this is specifically a question for Yura, but it doesn't matter. It's a question for anybody, really. Because ranked choice voting for you, the voter, is very simple. But ranked choice voting for the person doing the actual, you know, management, running of the vote is very complex. Which is sort of my overall point. It's a complex under the hood. You know what? Let me use a much simpler question. You know how to drive a car? Now, okay, driving a car is not simple. But making a car actually function, all the electronics, engineering, moving parts, the controlled regularity of explosions that are keeping the car functioning, that's extraordinarily complex. And that's V, in a nutshell, right there. Just about anybody could drive a car. Not a lot of people can tell you what's going on under that hood.
At your pleasure.
By contrast, Dante is complex as hell. As we'll get to at some point. I forget when.
Blast.
I don't really need these orbs. I guess what my overall point is this is something I myself am still beginning to become more and more aware of. A tremendous amount of design goes into making something that is simple to control. To keep this within the realm of video games, you ever play Metroid Dread? Do you have any idea how much crap is going on constantly, every frame, in order to keep Metroid Dread controlling as smooth and fluidly as it is? It's actually very, very hard to make something that someone can pick up and control and have it control right, you know? We do.
Pin him to the wall. Yeah. The end is now.
No. It's a valid statement, Yura. Lord knows I'm terrible at English.
Gouge on.
That's also true, Rex.
Yeah.
One of the reasons I tend to be so harsh about so many aspects of game design, and yet at the same time give so many positives when they get it right, is because I know how little I know about how much work goes into making truly good game design. Truly good encounter design. Truly good enemy design.
Made no. My select failed.
Truly good combat. Truly good controls. Truly good map. Truly good encounters. I already said encounters, but it bears repeating. Itemization. Power progression curve. Every single one of those individual items that's on the audit sheet is there because it's so easy to screw up. All of it.
Yeah. Return him to the underworld he destroyed. Yeah. To fall to hell. It's your turn.
Oh god, cinematography is another thing that just...
Quiet, V. Thinking about Mommy Dearest?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But the past is a bitter place for me.
We'll get to it, Pokemi. Chop chop! What was I about? Cinematography. There is so much that goes into film. Like, so much. It's actually a little bit bonkers. There's basic things that you would never think about. Let's say you have a really basic scene that's just two people talking to each other. You would not believe, or perhaps you would, just how much thought goes into all the tiny little details of a scene with two people talking to each other. You need to think about the camera angles, plural, especially if you're going to use more than one. You need to think about where the lighting is going to be relative to each of those individual camera angles, because reflections and light bouncing, whatever that's called, is a problem. You need to think about distance between the people, how they're going to look at each other, how they're going to look versus each other, as in on the camera, distance, height. There's all kinds of little things. Which person's on the left side of the screen and which one's on the right side of the screen. All this stuff is the kind of thought that goes into the most basic kind of scene that exists. Yeah, there's so much. One of the reasons I tend to have so much respect for the giants like Spielberg, I'm just going to name drop him there, is because he is just so good at all those little things in ways you probably have never noticed, and that's kind of the point. The fact that you've never noticed all the thought he put into all that stuff means he's doing his job very well. And it's the same thing with game design, like Yura was just talking about. If a game plays right, then it plays right. And there you go. You're not really supposed to notice. You're supposed to play the game and be like, oh, this plays great. End statement. Now, I'm a geek, so I tend to get into this sort of thing. And of course, I'm a reviewer, so it's my job to notice this sort of thing. But it's still very understandable why you're just looking at a game and just saying, man, this plays great. Because even if you can't understand the specifics of why, you notice it's there. Anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Return to the underworld.
Oh, dude, Star Wars A New Hope is a weirdly well-edited film. I know that's the most bizarre thing to call attention to, but while I myself have said several times that I don't particularly care for A New Hope, like it's kind of middle of the series for me, it's still a very well-edited film. Just brilliance. I haven't played this that much, but this is not exactly my first playthrough now. Whoop! Also, I know how to use the hat specialist feature.
Demolish.
Hey, Shadow, could you... Oh, who cares? Down we go. It kind of is, Loner.
At your pleasure.
There was a really long-standing mentality in Hollywood, specifically, I don't know about other countries, for a very long time, that editing was the kind of... How do I explain this? That editing is... Okay, here's how I'm going to describe this. I'm going to use a food analogy, because I always use analogies. It's analogies all the way down. So, think about it this way. Think about you're making a sandwich, right? Nowadays, editing is like choosing the right bread. You think it's not important.
Get it together, buddy!
You think it's not important, but it actually affects everything. The whole sandwich is changed by this bread, right? And making it right and using it right and correct selection, correct cooking, all that fun stuff. All that determines it. The bread will completely change that sandwich, right? But that's editing now. Back in the day, editing was considered the same thing as that little garnish you put on the side of the sandwich. So it's not even part of the sandwich. It's just this little extra thing. It doesn't matter, really. There were movies made, mainstream Hollywood movies made, which didn't even have editing. If you ever wonder why there's so many films that you've ever heard of, oh, they just threw such and such in, or such and such wasn't actually in the script, it was just tossed in. It's because what was very common for decades was they would film, and then they would very precisely chop, and then the only editing that would happen is the shot would get trimmed to where it should be for any extra they got over all of that. And that was it. That was the shot. Nobody thought about going through, doing multiple camera angles, or slicing this over this thing, or pulling out this pause here, or stretching out this part here. None of that happened. The editing side was just make the film that we shot viewable. And that was it. Now, I'm not saying A New Hope started the trend of editing being a big deal and a major part of filmmaking, but it was sure as hell the codifier. Also, mountain white bread for the win. For those of you who know what it is, for those of you who don't, I feel bad for you. I agree with that, Maz. Whoops. I should probably mention, even though everyone in the universe knows this, that Mr. Lucas's wife, Marcia, was a brilliant editor, and is pretty much the main editor for A New Hope, and several other works, which deserve tremendous acclaim. And as you might imagine, she herself didn't get a lot of credit back in the day. Because why would an editor get credit?
He has no reason to keep Dante alive.
It's this white... If Maverick was here, he could help me out with this. Because he's actually had this bread. I know he has. I'll just tell you, it's so... I used to live on the East Coast, and over there they had a place called Publix, which has this wonderful, wonderful white mountain bread that they would make daily there. And it's really good. It's just a light form of sourdough. But they make it really, really good. It's really soft, very fluffy. A lot of air. I forget what that's actually called. I don't know all the details that make it so delicious. I just know that it's delicious, okay? What do you want from me?
Rest in peace.
It's pretty much, well, it was pretty much my go-to sandwich bread. Nowadays, there's a local bakery place, I just get whatever they have. Including the bagel I had this morning. That's right, that bread was itchy tasty. No doubt. Dang it. Didn't see he was doing a return trip. Give in, Evo. Give in to the bread side of the Force.
If we had the Devil Sword Sparta, Nero might just be able to defeat him.
Almost there. You gonna make it, me?
Vegeta spice. Someone help me out. What's Vegeta spice? Ugh.
Go.
I mean, Dragon Ball joke, but you get it.
Pierce through.
I don't know, I get all kinds of different spices around here, so who knows. Most of mine are Persian, though. Including, I don't know what it is, I don't know what it's called, and I've never heard of it before. But it's really good.
Serenity upon you.
Damn it, didn't I just kill... No. first got into game design, or when I really got into game design? I suppose I can answer both questions. So when I first got into game design, it was Mega Man 3. Yeah, I know. But I started noticing what they were doing in that one, and that was obviously not my first or my second Mega Man game. I started really noticing some of the specifics they were doing. But the first time I really got into game design, I can tell you the exact specific game. Super Mario World. You ever hear me, like, I've streamed Super Mario World. I've reviewed it under the current system. The reason I was so excited to gush so much about that is because I have studied that game since the 90s. Like, that was kind of the game that got me into game design. And holy crap. Thank you, Permeus. Always appreciate you creating Super Mario World for us. I do very much thank you for it. If you want to put that towards something, please let me know. The problem, Django, is that the story is very well presented, right? Good animation, good motion capture, good camera usage, good voice acting. The core story, not as much. If there's one thing that I think DMC3 will stomp this game on, it's probably story. A game I can quote through and through. I used to be able to recite FF6. Can't anymore. Need to jot down some negatives while I'm here. Right now, I don't think I could get past the intro to FF6 anymore. Probably doesn't help that nowadays my memories are a little bit mixed up because I've got the SNES version of FF6, the GBA version of FF6, my original version of FF6, and the one I'll be doing for the theater, all four of which are different translations. So maybe the world is on the behalf of, or the, I can't even get the word right, on the verge, there we go, of making a terrible mistake. But no, it's cool, it's cool. Maybe it's actually just the rulers that are on the verge of making a terrible mistake.
Hey, look, V. A phone. Check and see if it still works.
I appreciate the commentary from Griffin. In fact, I appreciate it so much, I'm going to make a note about that. Where do they get the quarters from? And why does the game set in the modern era?
Keep squawking, little chickie.
Have payphones.
Oh! Well, yeah. See ya!
Impressive.
But you are not a Jedi yet.
Hey ya.
I mean, I would do it in post, personally, Yura. Easier to do it that way. Right. Well, because Devil May Cry 1...
This presence. It's the Devil Swords.
Didn't really have an identity, for lack of a better way to put it, Bokimi. I think I was just hanging out up there.
Some kind of ritual shindig, isn't it? You guys got the dance fever for Sparta, don't you? Whoa!
So the nobodies are back.
Dance floor there, partner.
And they still suck.
That back. You know your endless worshipping isn't making the Sparta any happier. changed? Gouging. So that's your tactic.
You know what?
No escape.
Yeah, let's just not mess around with these guys. You got it, Permeus. Give me 1 second. Creepy. Yeah, I agree with that.
So hungry for death.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. After playing 4 and today, I've been sort of mentally debating what a boxer-style playstyle would be in this game. Or in this franchise, rather.
Blast.
Just straight up Balrog. Wonk. And then you got, of course, the massive clothesline, which goes like this. And then the down, which you can carry up, or you can push further down to send them knock back or knock up. Like, I've actually thought about some specifics of how it would go. What you can do, Yura, is you can attach a script to a specific moment, a specific frame usually, so that this cutscene, even though this is fully in-engine, there's still a moment which is like that moment right there. And you could just, hey, play sound effect at that moment, attached to this object, moving with these effects on it. So that's a way, that's what I mean when I say doing it in post. Also, gross. Did Sparta always look this gross? I love how he can barely hold it. I really do. Sorry, V.
It seems this sword is still too strong for me.
So close, though. So close. You got a lot of heart, kid. You really do. But you're a bit of a sissy in the strength department. Oh, hey. No offense, you know.
That kid Nero. He has the strength.
Yeah, to go back to the Rax and me thing. Rax could probably not lift that thing, but I could. No offense, Rax.
Dante.
Good night, Mr. Red. I expect the entire Mass Effect series to be fully highlighted and clipped and edited and processed and everything tomorrow. Or you're fired! And I'll hire 50 other people to replace you for cheaper.
I don't even have the words. He's alive! He's alive!
The Devil's Sword Sparta was concealing Dante's presence.
How does one friggin' guy have so much luck, huh? V? No. Get a grip on yourself now. Come on.
If only you could defeat Urizen. If only... No.
V? No.
If only you never existed. Then I...
Don't do it, V. No!
Now, that's of course super sus, but as I've already spoiled, that makes so much sense for Virgil. In fact, a lot of V's interactions with everybody, including Dante, make a lot of sense when you consider that that is Virgil. Again, I know that's just a theory of mine, but the more I watch this, the more I analyze this, the more it makes sense that that is the real him, right? God, it is pouring buckets out. My goodness. Thankfully, they actually fixed the roof last night. I mean, if you think about it, Virgil's life has turbo sucked.
No matter what happens, you mustn't leave.
Really.
I need to find Virgil. I promise I'll be back. I know this is hard. You must listen to me. Be a big boy. A man, huh? If I don't return, you must run. By yourself, alone. You must change your name. Forget your past and start a new life. As someone else. A new
None of this is Dante's fault. But it's easy for Virgil to blame Dante for a lot of what happened. Especially given how young he was when it happened.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna shish kebab me.
I know how stubborn you can be. I thought it might be the only way to wake you.
What day is it?
The 15th of June.
A month?
No wonder I'm so stiff.
Right, Sunshine. Now put a fire under it. We gotta get going because that annoying pimple Nero is making a beeline for Urison, and if he gets there, he's gonna...
Hey, this is my gig. Leave Nero out of this.
If you could defeat Urizen, then I never would have dreamed of using that child. But Urizen is much stronger than we ever could have imagined.
Oh, it stinks in here.
I know. Smells like hot garbage.
I mean, the characters are the shining part of this game, okay, story-wise.
There's no crime in turning tail, V. These things might be a little too much for you.
You're right. I'll leave the rest to you.
What? Whoa, my, V. All the way down here and turning tail, really?
One must always have an insurance policy.
Who was that guy? Can't believe he just ran.
No one special? Come on. Let's go clean up this garbage.
This game...
First serve on the targets, right?
Music to my ears. Hurry up, Dante!
This game does have a villain, and his name is Mundus.
Guess I get to see it with my own eyes. If it really is you.
But yeah, Dante is tunnel visioning way too hard. Hey, look, there's the Tony Redgrave suit. We're not using because it looks terrible. But, yeah, you know. So I have several things I wanted to talk about. First of all, the voice actress of Trish is actually the voice director of this game. I just thought I'd share that little anecdote, speaking as a voice director myself. It's always kind of interesting to see who's trying to tell the actors what's what. And maybe, just as a random thought, maybe Square Enix could hire her and teach their voice actors how to do their goddamn lines. Second point. No, I know, I caught it out. I still like it being Tony. Virgil, I want to just kind of run you through things really quick here. Virgil was a kid who had a rivalry with his brother. Then, the town he lived in, over 100 people, and his mother, and seemingly his brother, were all murdered in the course of a single night by demons. Now, say what you like about that in whatever direction you want to, that is traumatizing. And credit to the game's course, it doesn't portray that as just like a whatever thing. But it does actually make a very clear point. This game in particular makes a very clear point that that night had a huge impact on both Dante and Virgil. And both of them are still dealing with it 40 years later. So Virgil goes off, kind of tries to do his own thing, discovers some power, barely survives. There's a couple of things he goes through I'm going to skip over. Has a couple of encounters with his brother. They don't go very well, especially because Virgil specifically thinks that thinks that Eva favored Dante over him. So that didn't help the relationship any. But the point is, you know what it takes for two people to get over mutual trauma? Two things. Time and actually sitting down and working through it with each other. Instead, what they would do is they would fight. And they would stab and kill, but it doesn't do anything. We talked about this back in DMC3. They're fine. Their superhuman nature allows them to just beat the snot out of each other and just kind of walk away from it. So they didn't actually talk about it. They didn't actually interact, and they didn't actually process. Now, human or demon, there's something about the nature of how personality works. Stuff that doesn't get processed just kind of stays there in the back, right? And that can cause all kinds of problems. It depends on you, the individual. But maybe it'll fester, maybe it'll grow, maybe it'll be a block, preventing certain other aspects of your personality from developing or pursuing. But one way or another, having that block, like I want you to mentally imagine just a chunk of crystal jabbed into the back of your skull. And it's just getting in the way of everything. Until that's worked through, until you've chiseled through that, and actually processed it, and allow it to flow back through the system, it's just going to sit there making everything worse. I am saying this as someone who is still working through my own PTSD, which is something that has crippled me for a decent chunk of my life. Not just my own studies and analysis on the matter. So, neither Virgil nor Dante have ever really had that. Dante has had a better time of it, because Dante has had Lady and Trish, and his interactions with Nero, and he's gone around doing his thing. But if you pay attention, this game in particular, 5 in particular, makes it very clear Dante has still not gotten through all that blockage in the back there. He's still lounging around in his room, which doesn't have the power on, doesn't have the water flowing, and just not caring. Or, to be slightly more accurate, he just doesn't have the energy anymore. We've talked before about how Dante is someone who is depressed, but masks that. As we see as he's getting older, it's getting harder for him to maintain that mask. And so yeah, it's classical depression. It's straight up depression. Just sitting there, not having the motivation, not having the energy, not having the interest. Just, nope. Virgil, we'll get into that in a minute. But the point is, Virgil didn't even have that much. Virgil had even less than that. So what Virgil does is he grips the one thing he knows, the one thing he has. What does Virgil have? Power. We've already talked about this a bit with Urizen, but this is still true with Virgil, the actual, sentient sapient person. So he fixates on it. This is what I want because this is what I have because this is what I know. It is actually a very childlike fixation in its own way. Fixates on it, fixates on it, fixates on it, loses everything, loses in a fight to Dante, falls into the demon world, throws off his scabbard, symbolic relevance there, goes to fight Mundus, gets pasted by Mundus. Mundus enslaves him in one of those wonderful little things we've talked about a few times. So none of this is great for his mental health. Then we scooch forward a little bit. He is tossed at his brother, ends up losing to his brother, and essentially dies. In fact, based on what I know of the lore, I think what was supposed to happen is that he actually did die, because demons self-resurrect in this setting for some goddamn stupid reason or another. And so he either dies or gets on the verge of death. Doesn't really matter which. Either way, he's just like, ugh, barely recovering. So what's the first thing he does once he's capable of actually moving around? He goes after his sword, which happens to be with Nero. Takes the sword back, incidentally taking the arm back, which contains Yamato. That's why he took the arm. And then goes off to use Yamato to slice himself, ripping all of, again, his thought, his personality, his human weakness, his love out of him, so he can just have the power. Now, I'm going to pause there, because the rest of the story speaks for itself, but the reason I'm highlighting this whole timeline over here is because I want you to see this and see that this is a pretty sucky life. This dude's in his 40s. And he's effectively lived maybe a couple of years out of all of that. Maybe. A lot of that has actually been spent literally in stasis. Some of it has been spent mind-controlled. The rest of it has been spent running away from a trauma he has never dealt with. Exactly. This guy is, for all intents and purposes, still a young adult. I mean, this is the DMC lore run. I've been doing my research like I would for normal lore run. It's just we've decided to start labeling things review streams pretty much universally. Anyways. So now we're playing as Dante. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's start with a couple of things. First of all, this is super cool. You have loadouts. Now, you can, just have all the weapons here. That's cool. That's important to the loud. But you know what? Not everyone wants to have access to every weapon at the same time. Maybe they want to have access to only just Cerberus. So let's, try to remember how to do this, actually. Oh, it's not going to let me, is it? I know there's a way to do this. There we go. So maybe you just want Rebellion. Or maybe you just want Balrog and Rebellion. I don't think you can get rid of Rebellion. But the fact that you can decide to say, I just want to focus on Balrog because I like using Balrog, that's cool. It continues the loadout concept of Nero. I think it's locked in for this exact mission. I think that's why I can't get rid of it at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, Dante has a crazy amount of kit. Like, honestly, and I'm going to be just completely honest here, I think that Dante has a little bit too much kit. Oh, by the way, you can do the same thing with the guns. Okay, I want to make sure we've got a couple of things here. Didn't spend a lot of these last time. I've actually been holding on to some of my 43 million orbs, specifically to level up Dante here. Also, we're going to need some for Virgil later. I already had that. Okay, that's what I thought. I noticed we got a lot of Balrog. Boy, that sounds like me. I mean, Dante's kit is probably more than 3 paladins because it's just insane how much stuff he has. Can't believe I don't have some of these things, honestly. Yeah, Dante has 4 different characters in one, each of whom have multiple weapons, if we're being just completely blunt about this. Yeah, let's just grab a bunch of things here. I'm just kind of looking at the specifics. As we go. Now, I'll try to only use certain guns and abilities as we unlock them. But I do kind of want to just get all this out of the way here while we're here. Oh, he starts with Balrog. Okay. I was just going to do Rebellion and the handguns. Oh, and Shotgun, apparently. Oh yeah, by the way, you know something extremely cool about this game that deserves its own positive? You can turn abilities on or off that you've already unlocked. If you've been paying any kind of attention during this entire lore run, you'll notice that there's some abilities I have deliberately gone out of my way to not unlock. Because I don't want that input. I don't want that to screw with my pattern and my combos. So there's certain moves I just don't want to be part of my rotation. So I just don't grab them. Here I can grab them and turn them off. Yeah, no, this game is kind of crazy. We're gonna have to actually try out Gunslinger for real this time. After playing as Lady back in 4, because holy crap, that was fun. And of course, Royal Guard, which is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, I think that's essentially everything. I suppose we can literally make it everything. Why not? So we have all the styles at start, right? This game was in development for a very long time. It actually had a longer than usual game development cycle. In fact, they started development on this game before DMC came out, to give you a little bit of perspective on that. I'm just gonna grab all that crap, screw it. Okay, so we have... Here, I'll go ahead and go down to this. So we have Rebellion and Balrog, and that's it. So let's go for those. And we have the Great Faust. But we have those two things. Oh, absolutely, Yura. Why wouldn't you? No, I'm pretty sure I'm right, Bokimi, but that's probably because we're talking about timelines in different ways. Oh, right, I should probably do that. Either way, it doesn't matter. This game was in development for years. However you want to think of that. There we go. Because especially after my research this morning...
Did that guy really do this? Well, there's no accounting for taste.
That... I think I know the interview you're actually talking about, Bukimi. See, my take on it is that DMC4 Special Edition was a test bed for this game. Testing out new styles, new concepts, new mechanics, new everything, right? And then, of course... You know, then they got the full green light and actually started going into production of 5, taking all this stuff with them. So I'm counting that. That's why I say we're using different definitions. So Dante's Dante. Okay. Just making sure we're still the same Dante from DMC1. That's actually kind of hard to control. Like a lady's just chilling on the other side of the barrier like, come on, Dante, let's go. feel like handgun gunslinger more better. I mean, if you think about it, you've probably gotten pretty good into shape. You've been killing demons as long as he has. Damn it, girls, wait for me. Better yet, let me play as you. Well, I sort of swore after 4 that I would try out Gunslinger first, and I am a man of my word. It's interesting to watch them develop super armor as I go. Whoops. Yeah, by the way. We now have a closer with the shotgun. I mean, come on. See, Evo. I have secretly given in to the no longer having to deal with the roofing and also the dental appointment side. And therefore, by sheer virtue of absence of negatives, have improved my overall mood. Okay, so, is this as good as Lady in DMC4? No. Is this substantially better than Gunslinger has ever been? My opinion? Yes. And we haven't even really shown off Gunslinger yet, because we've only got 2 guns right now, remember? Chaos! I must kill chaos! Look, it's been a while. He hasn't shaved in a minute, okay? So, you're making me sound like some kind of evil overlord. It's like, oh no, the master is in an evil mood. What will we do? What will we do? I love the pictures. You know, ironically, Yura, I think if WoW had exactly this combat, it would not scare away the so-called casuals. You know why? This is going to sound elitist, but I absolutely do not mean it as such. This game is actually quite new player friendly. Something I just talked about was how incredible the complexity was behind the design of V, for example. But something that needs to be kept in mind is that there's a tremendous amount of design to making something that has a nice low floor and a nice high ceiling. This is harder to do than it sounds. Making something so that there's a low barrier to entry, so that just about anybody can pick it up and have fun with it, but that the ceiling cap is way up here. And let's be clear, Devil May Cry 5 ceiling cap is pretty high. I've seen people play this at level. It's bonkers. Yeah, I haven't even shown off auto mode. So, my point is, again, if you somehow magically made WoW play this well, I'm pretty sure that would go over quite well. WoW is already very action-oriented and is literally designed off of FPS formatting, for reasons I'm not going to bore you all with here. So... Oh, I agree, Eva. Don't mistake me, there is, of course, a degree of difference in mentality. Some players want to just push themselves to be more awesome because it's fun. Some people don't. And that's a fine distinction to make. But I don't think one is better than the other, or one is higher than the other, or any other of the nonsense elitism bullcrap that tends to circle around that drain, personally. It's just two different people who have two different perspectives on enjoying the same game. Now, obviously not every game should appeal to both markets, blah, 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 blah. But the point is, we're all just gamers, right? we're just here to have fun. You know what I mean? World sucks enough as is. We don't need to add to it. No, we don't. We don't need to add to it. It's okay.
Nothing's gonna close if I don't hurry.
And I didn't hurry.
No.
So anyways, let's show off Trickster a little bit. Now, I'm going to go and admit something, which is going to cost me my gamer card here. When I first played this game, it had been a long time since I'd played any Devil May Cry game. In fact, I'm pretty sure the last time I'd played a Devil May Cry game prior to playing 5 before the stream was when 4 came out, when I played through 4. So it's about a decade. The reason I bring all that up is when I first unlocked Dante, my first reaction was, oh god! There's too much! There's too much to keep track of. Now, I'm saying this partially to make fun of myself. But also because there's honestly no shame in having that reaction to it. A lot of people think that choice paralysis is some big shameful thing, and it kinda isn't. It's just you locking up a little bit, and what we as people need to do is just be like, alright, hang on. Take a moment. No. Take a breather and just be like, alright, what do we got? Pick something. Stick with it for a bit. Focus on it a little. See what you feel about it. Go one direction. Maybe try the other direction, too. I mean, there's over 600 runs on the list at this point, Era. Yeah, there's so much to Dante. And keep in mind, I only have 2 guns and 2 swords right now. This is, of course, the best stance.
Oh, man. Well,
changed my mind.
Off the table. Still, there's got to be another round.
Up you go! Chop it up! Boy, oh God!
I just like Royal Guard. I always have, ever since 3. That wasn't his idea, Trihexia. That was Arkham's idea. He was just going along with what was there. Come on, actually hit me. There you go. Almost.
Oh, man. They're already here. These ladies work fast.
Well, yeah. He owed me money. Listen, what I'm trying to say is never owe me money. You want this to be your future? Kids, don't borrow money from the lore runner. Or he, hold him here for a second. Ooh, there. Hello. Dang it, start targeting that one. I'm just saying, Permeus. Everything's gonna be fine. I mean, it's a nice shop you got here. It'd be a shame if something were happened to it. I suppose at some point I should show off this thing. So...
Mine now. Bust.
If only we had a boxing style in this game. That'd be cool. Ugh, we're dead. Playing around too much. So yeah, this is Balrog? Something.
Mine now. Bust. Mine now. Bust. Show dance.
That's that weapon. Okay, I don't know what to do. Sure, now I get some help. So, I don't know if you saw me doing it. Hang on. Actually, there we go.
I'm on fire.
You can do a little bit of a rolly thing. Like that, if that's what you're talking about. I actually did it a couple of times during the fight. Like I said, I was just kind of showing off and not really focusing on defeating the enemy, because this is a Devil May Cry game. Ironically, I prefer the kicks on this thing to the punches. Go figure. That's probably because the kicks are mobility, whereas the punches are speed. Oh my god, it's platforming. You like platforming, right?
Fired up.
There's Balrog, by the way.
Yeah, getting close. I can feel him. I'm on fire. Fired up. Dance.
I also do things like that. I don't know how much priority that attack has, but I know it can parry really well, as I literally just did. Earned it.
I'm on fire.
Oh no, this is the first Devil May Cry that's getting the full triple positive for viscerality. The hits feel good. They look good. They sound good. They are good. I mean, just look at the fight I've been doing. How often is it that you could just go through a fight and have that thought at the end of it of, damn, I looked awesome doing that. I mean, that is, my opinion, one of the core tenets of what makes a Devil May Cry game. If you can't sit back and think that you did something awesome, then something's wrong. Not with you, I mean with the game. Alright, so hang on. Oh, that's wild. Hard to control, too. Look at that. I didn't actually mean to cancel that twice. There we go. I was trying to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling it.
No. Also no. Lark scene. And I guess Zigbar? Oh my god, Lady is Zigbar.
Well. Oh, king of stench and filth. I'm impressed. Those are two of the most badass women in the world. And I only know one other guy who can defeat them. Jackpot.
Dante.
Yeah, so, as you can kind of tell, Dante himself is not super happy about any of this. Notice he starts off joking, but can't even finish his own jest without losing his temper on the matter. Like I said, Dante and Virgil both have a massive blind spot for each other. Oh, bull crap. I was guarding. You saw that! I was just hanging in there. The game robbed me. So anyways, back to the first part of the game. So I want to talk this out a little bit with people. Yeah, you can see I was screwing around because I got a terrible rating. Hang on, let's actually move forward to the next mission. Mission 11. Halfway through despite how much time we've been taking. That's not too shabby. We even changed difficulty once.
Our last hope, Nero, was completely useless.
Hey! Get Nero out of here! This was a bad move! Nero, go! You're just dead weight!
That bastard called me deadweight! I didn't come all this way for nothing!
I got 10 minutes left, Rax. Like, I'm good, but I ain't that good. I actually started a playthrough on hard of this game.
This is power.
Gave up because of time, but it plays really well, even on hard. Which I can't say for a lot of games.
The Devil's Sword Sparta no longer serves a purpose. I have plans for the both of you. You will exist to give me strength. How fortunate to serve such divine purpose.
So having seen that, we now know what I've already told you. Lady is a boss, and Trish is going to be a boss later.
Enough's enough. Can't let a boy do a man's job.
Hey, wait. I'm not done talking yet.
Okay, you get some rest. By the way, I guess I owe you one.
Because Trish does, Triaxia. Rebellion was for Dante. Balrog, right? Ironically, that's the name of the punching glove and a Capcom main character. Wah wah. I actually like slow weapons when they're well designed, which is pretty damned rare. Usually slow weapons just kind of suck because they haven't thought about what's necessary to make a slow weapon work. It's one of the reasons I really tend to like slow weapons on something like, for example, Bloodborne. My main in that game was a giant, slow-ass two-hander. It required very precise timing, and you had to use it very carefully, but damn, it was good when you managed it. I enjoyed maining that thing. Yeah, we'll show off the motorcycle later. Was it the Kirk hammer? We actually tried several two-handers. I forget the one we settled on. It's the one that is a slow and a fast weapon. Like, depending on which mode you're in. Yeah, ironically, most Souls games tend to do the two-handed weapon pretty well. Ah, you're right. It was Ludwig's. That's what we used. The Holy Blade. Yeah, we started using the Kirk hammer, and we switched to the Ludwig. And God, that sword was awesome. It was just this giant death of doom. One moment. I need to double-check something. What did I end up maining? Oh, no. I went the katana route over in Elden Ring. Although... That's because I went fully into the status effect route. If you remember, I was all about poison and blood damage at the same time. It was fun. Probably, Rax. I did a pretty long playthrough of Elden Ring. It was like an 80-hour stream, which was several weeks. That was actually longer than that because I played the game off camera. I didn't. That's what I thought. Twice in a row, I tried to type Nero, and I typed Virgil. Like, I was like, V-E-R... Nope, nope, nope. V-E... Nope. N-E-R-O. Twice. Twice in a row. I mean, I typed fast, so it was like just a second, but it's still... Could someone do me a huge favor and go check my review page to see how many gross positives we gave DMC3? Please. Please. I don't believe you, Bokimi. Oh, that's the golden number. No, I meant the gross positives. Just gross gameplay positives, excuse me. I should be very clear about this. $42. Yeah, gross positives, not net. That tracks. I already gave that one, right? Sorry, just doing a little due diligence because I want to share something. I'd rather do it on camera. Yeah, that's because that's net 28, Bokimi, as opposed to gross 28. Gross, it's, you know, Pull it up here. Yeah, 42. I do wish we had a different word for that other than gross, because everyone looks at me when I say gross, but whatever. Did already... I did not. Jesus. Yeah, ignore the other meaning of gross. That's this game. Yeah, pre-tax and post-tax. I'm gonna start calling them that. I can't type, apparently. Plus to gross. Yeah. Alright, I think that's where we're at right now. So let me update the HUD. We're up to 13 pluses to story. 2 negatives to story. 3 negatives to gameplay. Come on, game. There we go. Sorry. Tomorrow, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will continue through this game and hopefully have some time to hit up the Bloody Palace. We might have to do the Bloody Palace whenever, in order to accommodate their schedule. So just kind of a heads up on that. After all, we do have the availability of a mission select because this game is well designed. I hope you've been enjoying. I'll see you.